So, immigrants' accent can be funny, and some of the famous stand up comedians repeatedly take advantage of this funny accent. No offense at all. Even most immigrants enjoy these shows. I'm here just to share my thoughts on why, for some of the immigrants, the accent reduction or changing our accent can be very difficult. So, leaving our mother country, the convenience and comfort it gives, and settling down in another country, that decision itself is an indirectly a very big statement how much we respect the other culture or the systems, and the language is a part of culture. So when we try to settle down in a different place, we try to adapt and we learn the language, but being fluent in the language is different from the accent. So the accent reduction and the neuroplasticity, the process of brain adapting, particularly in this language aspect, is more complex than what we think. The first aspect is rewiring our brains. Practical implications: speech itself is a complex motor skill. It's not just about the tongue, jaws, vocal cords, and lips. These structures will have a fixed nerve pathway with the complex areas in the brain. So if you are speaking most of the time in your mother tongue for significant portion of your life, these network pathways become so familiar with your mother tongue's speech pattern, and all of a sudden if you change to English, there is a familiarity bias. So you have to rewire the new pattern of language to those pathways. Next is pronunciation and phonetics. Every language or speech has its own set of sounds. English has totally different from what your mother tongue may be having. So for example, my mother tongue is Telugu, and if I have to write apple in my language Telugu, I cannot write apple. Either I have to write apple or apple, but not apple. And the same thing for a bank. If I have to write bank in my language, either I have to write bank or bank, but I cannot write bank. So those are some of the examples where these set of sounds may be totally different from our mother tongue. That is where it is always difficult to follow a different accent. So the third aspect is muscle memory and brain plasticity, especially for people who are migrating at the age of 33, 34, because after this age, the brain plasticity declines. For example, in my case, I came to US at the age of 35. So already my brain plasticity is at a decline. So it struggles to adapt to a new accent. And another aspect, exposure, experience, then practice. When you are back home in your country, if you were living in a community where most of the regular day-to-day things can be managed predominantly speaking in your mother tongue, and you need English only for education or professional reasons, for such people, the adaptation into a new accent will be really challenging. And then the fifth and the most important aspect is intonation, rhythm, and stress patterns of each language are different. Specifically, English, the syllable stress is totally different from many languages. So that could be one of the reasons why we will not sound like a native English speaker. And the final and sixth point, cognitive load, a conscious, constant mental effort you have to put on your brain to get that accent. So your brain is already busy learning whatever science, math, or whatever subject you came here to learn. And if you have to add this accent stress to your brain, it is not totally that worth, as long as you can be clear and confident in your way of speech. That is the first and foremost thing. As I was mentioning in my previous episodes, so the bottom line, if you are able to adapt to the accent changes, it's fine. You can enjoy it. If not, it should not be a matter of concern or worry, as long as you're trying to make an effort to speak good and confident and clear English. And the other thing which we can try is talking to kids in English. So they will never hesitate to correct your accent. So that's all for today. Have a wonderful time. Thank you for watching.